So I promised y'all an answer to what we're going to call ourselves as grandparents of Grant Parker Peterson, our first grandchild. I'm doing this video at the top of Pikes Peak, just tucked in a little ledge here. And I'm going to tell you a story because it's easier to tell than to write. So 28 years ago, on August 23rd, my dad passed away suddenly from medical malpractice. I was 8 months pregnant, 6 weeks from when Zach was due, and I was only 28 years old at the time. So this year had a lot of significance. Our daughter Kate and her husband Scott, our son-in-law, were expecting a baby on the 16th, and the doctor let them go later. And so she was induced on August 23rd, 2018, is when Grant Parker Peterson entered the world. And as I was thinking about names, I didn't want something, older or that didn't fit me. And so I was looking at names. I had thought about Grandy, but my kids were like, "Mom, that's so old. You can't be Grandy." And John was pretty sure he was going to be Pops, because that's just a fun name that has come up in our lives and that Zach calls him from time to time. And so I was looking at names there. I was like, oh, I could be Lolly and he could be Pops, or Cocoa Pops. And my daughter was like, "It's Cocoa Puffs, Mom." But I thought Cocoa would be fun. And so I was running this by John and some friends while I was waiting for the baby to come. And I had a friend, he goes, "Where did Cocoa come from?" And I was like, "Well, I have a friend Karen, and she goes by KK, and a friend Deva, and she goes by Dee Dee." And he said to me, "Why don't you go by Susie?" And I paused for a minute and thought, he goes, "That at least fits. Like, Cocoa has nothing to do with you." I was like, "I love chocolate. Of course it has something to do with me." And he said, "What about Susie? Like KK relates to Karen. You get it." And I hadn't thought about that for a long time, but in the moment, this was probably middle of August before the baby was due. I was like, I'll sit on that for a week, because you see, my dad used to call me Susie. That was a pet name for me. And it would be so redemptive to use that as one of my names now. My good friends call me Suze, and so I'm playing with Susu or Susus. And to keep it simple for the baby, I think we're going to go with Susu. And then when Grant was born on the day my dad died, I had this moment of kind of God winks. Like, I could picture my dad in heaven, and I don't know when the soul and the body, all that works. But here's what I do know. I could picture my dad with baby Grant going, "Okay, it's time to go. It's time to go be with our family." And so however you look at heaven and whatever that means to you, that really solidified for me this idea of being called Susu, because that's what my dad called me. So SUSU or SUSUZ, we're working on one of those two. And then people say, well, it's whatever the kid calls you. And so we've joked about what that'll come up as, but I do know that anybody can learn names when they learn to talk. So that's what I'm gonna do. Susus and Pops is where we are right now. And there's the update. We're so excited. We get videos and pictures of him every day. It's hard to be on the other side of the world. Well, not the world, the country. But I'm so grateful for that sweet baby boy.